So welcome to Yoga for Relaxation. My name is Teresa. If it's wintertime where you're at, or if it's chilly, I recommend putting some layers on, perhaps even grabbing a heating pad or electric blanket and putting it on top of your mat. I have an electric blanket here on top of my mat. And I'm going to ask you to grab perhaps a strap, an elastic band, a strap, elastic leggings even will do. Anything that you need to pull your legs or the back of your legs toward you. If you can't reach the back of your legs, sitting up or laying down. I also recommend having maybe something like a prop that's really stiff and hard. Yoga blocks or a foam roller is a very good option for helping you prop yourself up. We're going to start in a comfortable seated position. I'm actually going to take a pillow and place it under my ankles. So pillows, bolsters, those are always welcome. Just shaking out your legs, inward and outward rotation of your thigh bones, warming up a little bit. This is yoga for relaxation, so what that means in my method is I would like for you to become aware of the relaxation aspects of these postures. So when I give you an exercise, I'm giving you an exercise where okay, you're going to become aware of the tension in your body, and then we're going to become more aware of how to relax the body in that posture. We're going to focus on opening up the lower back and your obliques today. This is going to require some seated twists a little bit later, but for now, we're going to actually start laying on your mat. So supine, face up. Go ahead and lay comfortably on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. If you need a pillow or a yoga block behind you, go ahead. So again, if you can't reach the back of your thighs, what you would do is actually just have some leggings or strap go under your thighs, and you can pull it toward you. I like the thumbs down method, elbows out, pulling the shoulder blades together and rocking. Pulling the shoulder blades together helps flatten out your back. Nice. We're going to come into a bound angle pose. So if you can reach up with your abs holding you up, try to pull those ankles toward your face. Good. Happy baby. Maybe play with your legs a little bit, working that turnout from the hip socket. If you're feeling really good, maybe just stay right here, marching those legs, grabbing the outer edges of your feet. If this hurts, just do what feels comfortable. Make sure you modify. Coming into feet together on your pillow. Maybe a little bit of hip lift. The hip coming up toward the armpit. Alternating left and right. Pushing into a little bit of a glute bridge. So pushing the ankles down and lifting the hips off your mat. Opening those knees, maybe pulling the shoulder blades together. And nice deep breathing. Inhale. Hold that glute bridge. Exhale. And roll down. Good. We'll do that 3 more times. Good. Pushing up. Maybe pulling the shoulder blades together. Inhale. And exhale. And roll down. And again. Do what feels comfortable. You don't have to lift the hips up if you don't feel like that's your thing. It's okay. Nice deep breath in and exhale. So roll down. Maybe you want to pull the feet in or out a little bit more. Adjust if necessary. We have our last one. Pulling the shoulder blades together. Maybe pressing the elbows into the mat. Lift the hips up. Let the legs fall open. Relax your upper body. Inhale. Exhale. Roll down. Nice. Bring those knees back into your chest. Good. We're going to work on inward and outward rotation from that hip socket. So turning your right leg out and turning your right leg in. Knees meet and knees go away. Become aware of relaxing your upper body as you do this. Try to keep the upper body out of the movement. Last one. Let's do that left leg. Bring that left leg up, turning it out from that hip socket and turning it in. Knees meet. Relax your upper body. Turn the leg out. Maybe it feels good to saw that leg. Do a couple of little crickets. Turn that knee in. Turn it out. If you have that figure 4 in your practice, maybe that's a really good stretch for you. You have that strength without your shoulders coming up. That's great. Put those knees in one more time. Bound angle pose. And place those feet on the pillow. We're going to open up the sides of your body. Stretching up nice and tall. Go ahead and reach to your left. Roll the shoulder blades flat to the ground. Press the opposite hip down into the mat. Good. Now I'm stretching left, so I'm going to reach my left leg left. My right leg's going to swing and close. Now, if the hip is coming up, I want you to try to roll that hip back down to the mat. So perhaps you cannot close your leg completely. That's okay. Inhale and exhale. We're going to find relaxation. So perhaps you feel a nice stretch to the right side of that body in the C curve. With every exhale, drop your right hip to the mat and relax. One last deep breath. Good. Bring that right knee up, back to your pillow. Good. Maybe open the chest back to center. Bring that left leg back up, feet on the pillow. Reset your glutes, your back, with a little bit of a press up into a glute bridge. Open those legs, open those knees, turning out from the hip socket. Stretch those arms over your head, inhale. Good, exhale. Bring the right arm to the right side of your body. Stretch that left arm over and past the center line to the right side. Stretch that right leg to the right. Close those legs together, swinging that left side, left leg to the right. If the hip is lifting, let's go ahead and drop it. Find that C curve and a stretch through the left side of your body. With every inhale, think about exhaling relaxation into the body. And 2. and 3, and 4, last breath. Good, bending that left leg, bringing it back to your pillow. Left arm back to center. Right leg back to center. Press those hips up, reset the lower back, roll down, let the knees fall open. You can stay here, or you can roll up, maybe rock like a ball, or come to your side to come up to a seated position. When you sit, you have a couple of options here. Our next pose is going to be a fish pose. You can take your Padmasana, your full lotus, or you can stay here with the bound ankle pose with your ankles coming together, bottoms of the feet together. If you need help with this, perhaps you want to actually bind your feet together. You just bring your strap around, knot it, belt it, and that'll help hold your legs and your feet together. The goal here is to actually push and open up and build length through your back. You can take your yoga blocks, or you can take any pillows and place it on the spine. If this does not feel good, do not do it. Just go to your mat. If you have this posture in full lotus or half lotus without any back support, that's a really good pose to get into. We're going to do that for 3 breaths, working on dropping to your elbows, lifting the heart, dropping the head back, opening those legs. 3 deep breaths. You can stay here, you can prop it up, you can take your fish. 1, 2, and 3. Good. From here, we're going to continue to hold on to this posture. I'm going to have you rolling up and down. So I like to have some support, a yoga block or something behind me. My goal is to get my elbows down, find relaxation. Inhale, exhale 3 times before rolling back up again to a seated posture. If you want to counter stretch, you may roll forward into that bound angle or that Padmasana. Rolling up and rolling back. Again, fish pose. Pushing those elbows into the floor, lifting the heart, relaxing the legs completely with every exhale. And 2. And 3. You can stay there, or you can roll up. You can stay here, you can counter stretch. We have 1 more time, rolling back into fish. Lift the heart, inhale. Relax the legs, exhale. And 2. And 3. Rolling up. Counter pose if you'd like, stretching forward. And finish. Very nice. Releasing the strap, if you have that, and moving your pillow to your side. Go ahead and go into Balasana, child pose. swing your legs around. Perhaps put a yoga block between your ankles. If this is not comfortable for you, make sure you support with something under you. Otherwise, if you're ready to take this into your child pose, lengthen your spine and walk your hands out. Hold this for 1 minute, finding relaxation in this posture. And with the back release, let your hips release. Perhaps sweep your arms all the way back behind you, letting the shoulders wrap down to the floor, letting your forehead press into the mat. Good. Rolling up one vertebra at a time, coming up to hero pose. Walk your hands forward into tabletop. Our next is going to be our Kapotasana, or we're going to do pigeon. We're going to do Ekapada Kapotasana. So we're going to just take that right knee forward, lengthen that left leg behind you. The goal here is to keep your hips from opening up, but I find opening up the hips is a good way to protect your back and your torso. I do want you to relax your back, so go ahead and as you drop your right hip, your right butt cheek down, allow, if necessary, that left hip to roll upward. Find length through that back leg, maybe wiggle the hips. I want you to make this as comfortable as possible, so if you need to prop up your right butt cheek, please go ahead and put a yoga block or something under to sit. The goal here is for you to relax your lower back. We're going to take this sleeping pigeon forward. Inhale, exhale. Just like you did in child pose. Make yourself comfortable, and with every exhalation, relax your lower back, relax your upper back. Relax your hips, your waist. Gently rolling up. Take a wiggle through the hips and the lower back if you need to. Maybe a little bit more of that C curve stretch through the laterals. Each side of your body opening up. Coming back to your tabletop. We're going to do the same stretch. Left leg forward. Lengthen that right leg behind you. As you drop that left butt cheek, perhaps that right hip comes up. That's okay. Go ahead and wiggle. Find what feels good. Prop up that left butt cheek. Try to square off the hips a little bit, dropping that right hip down to the floor. Walk those hands out into your sleeping pigeon. Ekapada Kapotasana. Inhale and exhale. Nice, soft, smooth breathing. Relaxing your back. Relaxing your hips. Just get sinking into the floor. Nice relaxation pose, melting into your mat. Bringing awareness back to your center. Inhale. Exhale, pull yourself back up into tabletop. Take your time. Next, you're going to draw your right knee forward just like you did in pigeon. Take that kickstand leg of the left leg. Cross the center line with your right leg. So now you're really turning out from the thigh on that right leg. Still keep your right knee in the center of your mat. You're going to cross the center line with the back leg. And then fold both knees on top of each other. One knee over the other, right knee on top. Now you can either have a block or something to sit on. If you do not have a comfortable seat, I want you to modify. Or if you feel like this is very easy to do and you want more of a deep hip stretch, remove that block or that prop and sit down fully. You might need to have that prop in front of you to help you lengthen your spine. If you have cow face pose with an arm bind in your practice, go for it. Otherwise, with the right knee in front, I'm going to have right arm high and then pulling a strap behind me. Just threading my tricep stretch of the right arm, tricep stretch of the left arm. Inhale. Exhale. And alternate. Going for 5 deep breaths. If you would like to take this as a forward fold, go for it. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, reaching forward over your thigh bones. Go ahead and find a comfortable posture where you can do nice deep breath in and out, releasing tension through the hips, the back, and the shoulders. One more nice deep breath, relaxing all tension, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Coming back up to tabletop slowly, we're going to do the other side. So we're going to come out of this the same way we got into it. Kickstand that rear leg, bringing it back to the left. Bring that right foot back to the right, and tabletop. Travel that left knee forward to the center line of your mat. Kickstand that right leg behind you. Take that left ankle, cross your center line. Take that right ankle, cross your center line to the opposite side of the mat. Bending your knees, shifting the hips back, hinging in the hips, sitting back. Again, perhaps you need a prop under your hips. The goal here is relax the hips and working on complete turnout from the hip socket. I really recommend you find this posture and relaxation in this posture before you remove your prop and sit down. When you have this posture fully seated and you're comfortable, make sure that this is relaxed. Maybe you just want to tap those hips, the med and the minimus of your glute muscles. Get a pretty deep stretch here. If they start going into spasm, that's not relaxation. So please make sure that you prop yourself up. If you're ready for this forward stretch, let's go ahead and lengthen a little bit. Oh yeah, is it good? Are we comfortable? Are we ready to take those arms into our cow face practice? So left arm is going to be on top. My left leg is in front. I'm using a strap. I bring that strap behind me. I take my right arm and hold the bottom of the strap, pulling it down for a tricep stretch, sitting up nice and tall. Both sit bones of my hip sockets are pushing down, my hips pushing down into the mat. I have an inhale and an exhale. Focus on relaxing the hips. Inhale and exhale. Doing a nice arm stretch with an inhale and an exhale. And again, if that forward fold is in your practice, go ahead and do it. 3 deep breaths here. I recommend that prop assist in the front. Inhale, exhale. Lengthen your spine on your inhale. Relax the hips and the upper back on your exhale. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Holding here for 2 more deep breaths. Focusing on the hips, releasing all tension. Slowly coming back to your center, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Your right leg is already folded, and we're preparation for half Lord of the Fishes pose. So we're going to take this left knee and simply bring it up to our chest, planting that left foot flat on the mat. Now, I'm going to ask you to hug your knee into your chest and turn to that left hip. Your left leg should be the top leg. So if it's not, it's okay. Top leg, turn to the left side, to the outside, the top leg hip. Sit in nice and tall. Inhale. Looking over that back shoulder, exhale and twist even deeper. Inhale and exhale. If this is your practice and familiar, if this is in your practice and you're familiar, perhaps you want to inhale, stretch that arm even taller, taking that opposite arm, the opposite knee on the top, pressing down through your sit bones, lengthening the spine even more, looking over that back shoulder. Half Lord of the Fishes pose is a very deep twist, but our goal here is sit bones down, spine elongated, and then the twist comes last. Make sure your twist is not from that shoulder pushing into that top leg. Perhaps you want to drive the elbow down into the top leg to help you build length through the spine. We're going to come to the center looking forward, and we're going to switch legs. Lifting up nice and tall, relax, maybe roll back a little bit. Fold that left leg under you or the other leg. I'm taking my right leg across my center line, planting my right foot flat on the floor. The goal here again is try to get the sit bones flat and down on the mat. Perhaps you need to have something to help you push down. That's good. Use your props. Stay up nice and tall. Again, reaching high. Maybe drive the elbow down into that top leg before you turn and twist. If this is fully in your practice, bring that left elbow to the outside of your right knee and reach forward. Sitting up even taller, looking over that right shoulder as you turn to your right. Inhale. Lift up nice and tall. Exhale. Relax those hips. Pushing the hips into the mat. Growing tall to the crown of your head. Adjust as necessary. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Free the waist as you exhale. Looking forward. Coming back to the center. Good. Both legs relax. Shake it out. Sit up tall if you need to. Roll back if you need to. Do what feels good. Next, we're going to take a deep twist pose. I want you to go ahead and modify this as necessary. We're first going to work on taking this left leg and folding it behind. So we have an inward rotation of that left thigh bone. Now, this right here, I want you to push it into the mat. And if you find that hurts that left knee, let's go ahead and bring it back up and prop that left butt cheek up with the yoga block. Okay, that's okay. It's all right. We want to protect your knee. We want to protect your knee. We do want to try to get those knees to roll together. So perhaps you need another yoga block or prop on the right side of your body to push down on to help you sit up nice and tall. If this is where you're at, that's okay. Just stay right there. That is pretty intense, and you can come out of it at any time. The next step in this posture is going to be this right leg falling open. My right foot is pressing into the top of my left thigh. Sit bones are down. So remember, this leg here, that left leg, I want you to go ahead and try your best to get both sit bones down. So perhaps it means you're going to push yourself into that left side by propping up the right hip a little bit. I like to have anterior pelvic tilt. I tilt forward with my hip bones forward, my tailbone lifting. If this twist is in your practice, you know the next step is to take this right side and twisting completely to your right. I like to take this right hand into my back pocket. It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Twisting. Maybe you want the prop behind you and you just want to do a whatever arm in the back and you want to push down on something nice and tall with that elbow and lift up, push down, lift up, push down. See what feels good here. This is not a relaxation posture. You're right. This is a lot of work. It's okay. Relaxation comes next, I promise. Good. Let's take this pose to the other side. So we're going to switch. So just like you figured out how to get into that right side, let's figure out how to get to that left side. Okay, so my left leg is forward, my right leg is folded, and I have inward rotation of my right thigh, outward rotation of my left thigh. Sitting up nice and tall. Both of my sit bones are on the ground. I'm going to grow even taller, maybe use a prop behind me, maybe whatever arm, and pushing down through the sit bones. Inhale, exhale. Grow even taller with your twist. No pain in your knee. Make sure you're pain-free. Twisting is really good because it will release tension in your QL. It will activate your obliques. I think in yoga we do not activate our obliques enough. So inhale, exhale, come back to center. Okay. Here's our relaxation pose. Working on bound angle. Sitting up as tall as you can. And stretching forward. So if this is not in your practice, I really suggest that you just lay back in Savasana for your relaxation on this one. It's okay. If this is in your posture practice, asana practice, go ahead and find relaxation in this pose. So that might mean you need to put a prop under your forehead to keep your back flat, or a pillow under your belly for support. That's okay. Do what feels good. We're going to take a moment, a minute of relaxation right here. Take a couple more breaths. And then gently and slowly roll up. Finding Dandasana, your staff pose. Stretching your legs to the top of your mat. Sitting up nice and tall. Perhaps you want to sit on a pillow to help that hips tilt forward. So remember, like I said, I always find it helps a lot when I can tip my hips anteriorly. Sitting up tall. If you need to support your lower back, perhaps bending your legs and propping the back of your thighs up with a pillow or yoga blocks would be helpful. So again, we have this nice length through the lower back. I'm going to pull this right knee up and sit up even taller, working compression of your ribs to your thigh. Stretching forward and past that thigh into the left leg. Perhaps you want to put a yoga block under your ribs and help support your lower back. We're going to do 5 deep breaths right here. Mariachi Asana. If this is too intense for you, please just roll back into Savasana. Just lay on your back and relax. We have inhale, exhale, melt into the pose. Inhale and exhale 2. Inhale and exhale 3. Inhale and exhale 4. Last one, inhale, exhale. Lifting up and switching sides. So again, I have an anterior pelvic tilt, lengthening up through my rib cage. I'm pulling that left leg, thigh bone to rib. Perhaps I want the yoga block under my ribs as I reach forward past that thigh to stretch that right side. Inhale, relax forward, exhale. And 2. And 3. 4. And 5. Rolling up, back to your Dandasana, staff pose. Jadasana is next. We're going to take that right knee. Perhaps you can pull that leg all the way up, compression of that thigh bone into your rib. That's awesome. That's great. Let that right leg fall open. Perhaps you want to put the yoga block under that right thigh. Perhaps you want to take the other yoga block or prop under your ribs, just like you did in Mariachi pose. Mariachi pose. Stretching forward, reaching forward, lengthening forward. Inhale, exhale, relax. 5 deep breaths. Rolling up, switching sides. Left leg compresses up, sitting up nice and tall. Let that left thigh open up, perhaps prop it up. Perhaps it falls all the way down to the mat. If you'd like, again, sit bones are down on the floor. Modify as necessary. Stretching forward, Janu Sirsasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Reaching your sternum toward your knee. Exhale. Slowly rolling up. Coming back to your Dandasana. Preparation for Savasana. Complete relaxation pose here. Make yourself as comfortable as you'd like, perhaps propping up the back of your knees, your head, perhaps putting a blanket over your body or a pillow over your eyes. Inhale and exhale nice and deep. Maybe take your last few stretches. We just let everything go. The legs will naturally roll out, palms up. Relax those eyes, relax your face, your shoulders, your hips. Just melt into your mat. Staying here as long as you would like. I'll leave this going. Just stay here as long as you would like. When you are ready to stand up and move, make sure that you roll over to your side to gently come up. Take your time coming up. Being aware of taking nice deep breaths. If you want to increase your blood pressure and your heart rate, you'll take a deep breath to inhale quickly. Exhale quickly. Inhale. Exhale. If you want to relax, you do the opposite. We're going to do an inhale slowly and an even slower exhale. So that relaxation breath is a slow inhale and an even slower exhale. Gently coming out of your savasana. Inhale, exhale, stretching over your head. Thank you for your practice with me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to leave comments. I hope you can come visit me at my yoga center in Wimberley, Texas. Have a good day.